Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and we have another CFL to NFL signing. Makai, Polk, wide receiver of the Toronto Argonauts, signs with the Atlanta Falcons of the NFL. Rick, first thoughts?
Of him going to, like, what this would do for Toronto or what this would do for Atlanta?
Well, this is
or so kind of both.
I'm going to say this video is going to be primarily focused for Atlanta Falcons fans and what they can expect from Makai Polk. However, we will kind of closer to the end maybe talk about the ramifications for the Argos. Definitely want to have something for the CFL fans as well.
Just for those fans of the Falcons, two things. First, go look at Makai Polk's YouTube highlights if you can find them.
Yep. That's always a good place to start.
Secondly, he put up 61 catches out of 86 targets.
Yeah.
1,024 yards, led the team by over 200 yards.
Now,
had 286 yak yards and 5 touchdowns. Led the team in touchdowns as well.
Now, the interesting thing I will say, though, if we're looking into this, is that he was a guy that had been on the team pretty much the whole season. He played 17 out of 18 games. And it was about halfway through the season that he really started to take off. Where he really started, it was week 14 out of the 21 weeks where he really started to take off. That was the first game that he cracks 100 yards receiving in a single game. And then for the most part, he's able to consistently do it. So he gets 105 yards receiving against Ottawa, then 116, then 42, then 103, 82, 104, and 122 receiving yards against Edmonton. This is excluding playoffs. But it really kind of was interesting how the only reason that Polk actually was not really a consideration for the nominee for Rookie of the Year was simply just, it was a consistency thing as he was going to go up against Shamar Bridges of the Hamilton Ticats. Now, Bridges had been out with injury for a little bit near the end, which definitely kind of hurt him a little bit in terms of getting that award. However, it was not like Polk, who actually had a little bit of a slower start and was playing, but he definitely picked it up when he needed to. And he was very, very important. And I mean, he was a Grey Cup champion this year, so obviously it didn't go too bad for him. But was born in Richmond, went to Mississippi State. He's only 23 years old, 6'3", 197-pound wide receiver. And he was able to do well again in the Canadian system. 1,024 yards, 5 touchdowns, average of 16.8 yards per down. Again, reminder to American fans, CFL only 3 down football, so was able to make the most of his catches.
One thing that I was going to mention is you got to remember the first 9 games of the season was one quarterback. The last 9 games of the season was a different quarterback. So
that is also fair. Yeah. And
you're talking
why
his numbers.
And you're talking the difference between
Dukes and Kelly.
Dukes and Chad Kelly, and then obviously was able to do decent enough with
Kelly as a starter
with
than if
Arbuckle in the Grey Cup.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah. So,
different players have different readings.
To me, it just seems like a chemistry thing, in the sense of that he was able to have that chemistry with Chad Kelly and with Arbuckle.
So,
but wasn't able to do it as much with Duke. So I think it'll be interesting when he is with the Falcons, if whoever he's paired up with, essentially. If he's able to kind of find success and find chemistry with them.
I could potentially see him being like that nice second and long, third and long type receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what I'm trying to say to Falcon fans is don't be expecting him to be like top 3 in wide and like touchdown receiving.
Oh no.
Like, he'll get you those yards. But I mean, even looking at the Falcons roster, you have
Yeah.
Ray McLeod. You have Drake London. Like there's other and with just for those CFL fans that don't follow NFL. Looking at the Falcons roster, they're the type of team that has 3 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. So there's a chance like he may not be first or second string at one of those wide receiver positions unless they make changes in the offseason.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But it's but yeah, no, overall I'd say like if we're looking at Polk, he's a receiver that I'd say primarily not shorter passes, but a lot of kind of mid-range passes. Does a good job at kind of getting that 10-yard pass each time.
I will put it this way: he played what 17 weeks.
17
he played
games,
every week. So his longest pass, he's had 3 passes over 50 yards, 3 between 40 and 45 yards, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 passes between 7 and 39 yards. So that's what I'm saying. If you're looking at that I wouldn't say second and long or even like second and like mid, like 6, 7 yards, then he'll probably be one of your receivers. But like we said in the Ontario Wilson video, now, do you know if he went to Canadian University or if he went to college down in the States?
Are you talking Ontario Wilson?
No, I'm talking about
Polk. He went to Mississippi.
Polk, he went to Mississippi. So, I mean, 1 year up here, okay,
yeah. And he's 23 years old. Like, he's young. Another thing... yeah?
What I was going to say was, with him only being up here for 1 year, he kind of still has, like, that 4-down mentality.
Oh, 100%. And the other thing I was going to say is that one thing that should be maybe exciting for the Falcons is that they have... They've done okay with their CFL players and being able to turn them into something. Not every single one. Nathan Rourke kind of gave it a little bit of a shot, and they weren't really able to make it fit. But a guy like DeAndre Alford from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, my personal favorite team, was able to go up, and he's still up there to this day. He's a corner for them. DeAndre Alford, or just D Alford for short, has been up there and done decent with the Falcons, enough to stay in the NFL at least.
Yes.
And so, maybe there's hope in a guy like Makai Polk and being able to get him an opportunity and seeing if he's able to take advantage of it. So, is there anything else you got there, Rick? That's pretty much all I got.
Not for me, my friend.
Do you want to? How about we just briefly touch on maybe the effect this has in the Argos before we get going for our CFL audience?
So now let me move this over on this screen for a second. Let me bring up my free agents chart. So you have Coxie. So Polk was their number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. DeMonte Coxie, free agent. So there goes their top 2. That leaves you Devarius Daniels, David Unger, Richie Sandini, who was their 6th receiver. Kevin Mittal will get more playing time, so he'll step up. Tommy Neal will step up. Dejan Brissett will stand up. It all depends on if they bring Coxie back. But then at the same time, this goes for all CFL teams. You never know. Like, all of these free agent players that come up from the States that spent times either college last year or on practice squads for the NFL. Think about it. Polk, Bridges, and Ontario Wilson. 3 receivers, 3 rookie receivers.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up the receiving. So, Ontario Wilson, 9th in receiving. Polk was 10th in receiving. Samar Bridges, who almost set a league record for most receptions by a rookie, was 13th. And those three receivers came out of nowhere. So you don't even know, unless your scouts step up, you don't even know who's going to come out of left field this year.
Yeah. No,
Keep in mind, the rookie, I'm pretty sure the rookie contracts are either going up 5,000 or they are the same. Give me 1 second. No. So they are the same this year at 70,000. So I mean, I'm sure if it's like we said of the Ontario Wilson video, if he's only making 70,000 plus whatever incentives, he's best off, to go to the NFL and just stay out there until he can get playing time and see where the Falcons see him.
Yep.
Because like we said with the Ontario Wilson, this is just a reserve futures contract, which basically says he's property of the Falcons until end of training camp, and then he either makes the team, goes to practice squad, or he gets cut. That's it.
Yep. So, who knows? Maybe he's able to find something up there, and maybe he does not. And if he doesn't, I'm sure we'll probably end up seeing him back in the Canadian Football League. But best of luck to Makai Polk on his NFL opportunity, and as well to Ontario Wilson. We forgot to say in the other video. So, but I think that's all I got. Is there anything else you got there, Rick?
Nothing I got, my friend.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much to all the wonderful people at home turning into this. CFL fans, NFL fans, everyone's welcome. So make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Share the video around. Really, really appreciate that. Also, if you're listening to us on Spotify, give us 5 stars. We'd really, really appreciate it. And we hope all of you have a wonderful day, and we will see you guys next time.